Ladies and gentlemen, this is for 3-minute rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the white collar shorts trimmed with claret and blue. At the weight he's scaled 9 stone 13 pounds. Tonight is his 62nd professional boxing appearance. Presenting from Melksham, Wiltshire, here is Liam Rocco Richards. And opposing him, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the black collar shorts trimmed with a spangled red effect. At the weight he scaled 10 stone 1 pound 11 ounces. From 3 contests, he has an unblemished record, 3 wins. Presenting from Lee, here is the undefeated Adam Ridge. Timekeeper at the bell, I love you, Phil Morris. Referee Mark Lyson from Anfield for 3-minute rounds.
Okay, boys, both know the rules. You obey my commands, tell you to break cleanly, defend yourselves at all times, boys, okay? Go to you both.
So this is Adam Ridge, another fighter off the Lee production line. I'd ask what they put in the water up there, but I'd say it's Carlin from the last time I made the visit, but they certainly know how to fight up there in Lee, and they've got a decent amateur scene as well, and it's no surprise.
Yeah, and the gym, it's a bit of an odd one really. All the pros in the gym have turned over at the same time from the amateur scene, and usually there's guys leading the way in the gym and the prospects coming through behind them, but everyone's at exactly the same stage of their career.
It's kind of great to see with the Astor VIP lads. They all train together, they all work hard together, and they always have a good laugh. And I know Adam will be delighted that Carl won early in the night, and obviously Andrew's up later tonight against Michael Mooney.
Yeah, that's Andrew Fleming, and as you say, they're all pushing each other in the gym. Have you been to gym? What's the atmosphere like?
There's always a really friendly atmosphere going on. They each one out, do each other, and that's always good to push each other.
Been a good start this from Adam Ridge. He's picking his shots nicely. He's come out nice and sharp behind that jab. And this is exactly what you got to do. We said it about William Warburton before. You've got to hit these journeymen with something to let them know that there's not a chance they're going to get a victory tonight, and you can make the night easy for you. That left hook to the body landing nicely as well.
Yeah, and Richards is not a bad opponent. He started off his career with 6 wins, then he had a loss, 4 more wins, another loss, and then another win. Then he started to lose more often than he was winning, but he's not got a terrible record. It's 12-49, and he stopped one of his opponents, so it'll be interesting to see what he tries to produce now, because he's under heavy pressure in this one. And Jace, is the type of thing that you see from Ridge in the gym, this kind of start?
Yeah, there's always a strong start. He always likes to get off his opponents from the off, and he's doing that well tonight.
And that stoppage win for Richards came in July 2015 against Pete Leeworthy, who was 6-2-1 at the time, and he stopped him in the 6th and final round. So it'll be interesting to see. He's took a lot of punches tonight, so he might try firing a few spiteful shots of his own back, otherwise he's just going to be overwhelmed in this one.
Yeah, and Richards doesn't get stopped very often either, so it'd be a big statement if Ridge can do it. I think it was Shakib Ali, the only man to do it with an uppercut.
Yeah, just a 1 stoppage in 49 fights, so as you say, he's not someone who's easy to shift, but he looked a bit shell shots in that first minute, but he's kind of slowed the pace down a little bit now, which is going to suit him a little bit more.
A little bit naughty with a rabbit punch behind the back of the head. Richards apologising as soon as he did it, knew he was in the wrong.
Yeah, sometimes those little fouls and infringements are necessary if you're a journeyman. Gives you even if you're getting a telling off by the referee, it's a couple of seconds where you're not being punched in the head by some prospect, so it can buy you a little bit of time.
And one thing about Adam Ridge, he looks very strong, doesn't he, in his arms and his back and his shoulders. He looks like he can punch a bit.
He packs a lot of power behind his punches. He's a real prospect at just 21.
And as you say, Luke, he's got strong-looking legs as well. He's got a good foundation. You see some fighters like Audley Harrison who are carried around on spindly legs, and when you get a punch on the chin, you want those strong legs to help keep you up.
And I think they'll be happy with that first round. And it went pretty perfectly for Adam Ridge, and he'll be looking to carry that on into the second.
And as we can see in the replay here, Ridge is just looking to find his shots. Just tried to slip through a little uppercut, left uppercut, come hook. And he's actually got a few good defensive moves. He slipped under a few shots there, ducked underneath them, and then came back with his own. And that was a good right uppercut to the body as well. So all in all, not a bad round, especially that first minute where he really came out and put it on him.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Yeah, and we saw it with Kyle Amotti earlier. When he gets behind that jab and picks his shots nicely, he looks fantastic. Kyle did in patches earlier on, and it was a good start from Adam. That they'll be looking to carry on though. That was lovely work, just taking a couple of steps backwards and bringing that right uppercut straight through the middle.
Yeah, as you say, he drew the shot, took a step back and drew his opponent onto the shot rather than some fighters standing mid-ring and just throwing the uppercut into mid-air. And is there any reason why this, apart from the gym being thriving, Jay, what do you think it is about Lee at the moment that's getting people into the boxing gyms?
I think boxing as a sport is rising in Wigan. Obviously, you got James Moorcroft who's fighting for a title later tonight, Kyle, Andrew, and obviously Adam. And I think there's something in the water at the moment in Wigan, really, and it looks very bright for the future over the next few years.
And obviously VIP used to put a lot of shows in Wigan. It'd be nice if we started going back to Wigan on a regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely. We always get good reviews in the paper from the Robin Park shows, and we always love having boxing in the town, so hopefully more shows in the rest of the season.
And I do enjoy going to Wigan. I don't know if it's just me getting lost, but I never went into Wigan by the same road as I'd leave Wigan. It always seems to be 1,000 different ways to get into the city and about 5 to get out of it.
Yeah,
most of them going past the pier.
You must be the only person that's ever enjoyed going to Wigan.
I think it's the pies. That's probably why I piled on a bit of weight the past year or two.
It's always the pies. Don't worry about it.
But we can see here Ridge has been a bit more controlled this round. We had the uppercut early on in the round. He's boxing at a more steady pace now, so he's showing what he showed in the last 2 minutes of the previous round. He's parlayed it into this round, and he's boxing a nice, efficient performance.
Yeah, and I wonder if they have seen that Shaquib Ali stoppage, because he seems to be trying to walk Richards onto an uppercut, which is how Shaquib Ali got that stoppage, and he's doing it quite nicely as well, just using that footwork, drawing Richards in. It's the one thing about Liam Richards, you know he's going to come and give it a go. He's not just going to tuck up and try and make his way through the rounds. He will throw shots and give you opportunities to throw back.
And as you say, if he knows that he's been stopped by an uppercut and he's trying to work that shot, he might want to make a statement, become one of the second man to stop him, which, as we mentioned before, it doesn't raise massive eyebrows amongst the general boxing public, but people who know the trade, it does speak to someone's ability and power.
It'd be a great statement of intent at such an early stage in his career.
And all fighters like to get that first knockout under the belt as well. He's had 3 fights, won all 3 of them on points over 4 rounds, so he's probably not going to get the knockout tonight, but when it comes, it sometimes sets off a little chain reaction of KO wins. And very little to do for referee Mark Lyson so far. He just had a quick word. I think he just told him to watch with some of the flicking shots. I'll double check with Mark later, but it's been a very easy night for him so far.
Another good round, another one in the bank. I think he'll be pretty happy with his performance so far. Halfway through this contest, and he's in complete control.
Yeah, it's been a great performance so far for Adam Ridge. A lot of fans have come down to support him from Lee, and I'm sure they'll be delighted from what they've seen.
I believe they do quite good tickets, the fighters from Lee as well. They've got quite a passionate following who come to watch them on the road.
Yeah, they've got loads of fans. They obviously love watching the lads fight, and a cheeky drink, so nights like this are amazing for them.
It's a good little test this for Adam Ridge, isn't it? Because he's having to work hard, to win these rounds. He's not had it all his own way, and he's not had any breathers. Richard's been on his chest.
And I think he probably realised the first minute of that first round he came out quite fast, so he's kind of found his pace in this fight now.
Seconds out. Round 3.
And 2 of Ridge's wins, his first win and his last win came against the ever reliable Christian Late, beat MJ Hall as well, sandwiched in between those 2 wins, so he's probably just happy to be fighting someone who's not Christian Late at the moment.
I always joke about that every time I go to the gym. Are you fighting Christian for the 50th time in your career?
Yeah, get the trilogy on the go and see if they can get a title on the line. Do it over 12 rounds. I'm sure Christian would love that.
Absolutely.
Although he probably hate me for suggesting it, so I imagine he took a bit of stick in those 2 fights.
I think he's going to kill me after this, after he's watched it back.
Oh, that's a solid left hook to the head there. Stunned him a little bit.
It was clever work from Ridge. He just pulled Richard's hands down as he threw that hook to allow it to hit the target. And there's little things you look like from guys that have turned over from the amateurs to the professional game. Little tricks of the trade that they're learning along the way.
Yeah, as you say, you want them to make that transition. Sometimes fighters stay too long as amateurs and never transition as a pro. It's just a case of, as John said before, either doing them a year early or giving them an extra year in the amateur game just to make sure they can actually come over to the pro ranks. And Jay, you'll be seeing the amateur fighters in the gym all the time as well if you've got more prospects coming through the amateur ranks.
There's a lot of prospects, and I won't be surprised to see some in the next few years. I know Kyle Adam and Andrew all act as inspiration to the amateurs and act as like a guidance of where they can achieve in the next 5 years. So.
Yeah, as you say, it's nice people getting the bandwagon. We saw it with Manchester years ago. Ricky Hatton jumped on the bandwagon that was put into motion by going there, Farnell and some of the Manchester fighters. So I think when a couple of fighters from the town or the city start to do well, other fighters look to that, get inspired, watch their fights, and then try to emulate them themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, there's a lot of talent in Wigan at the moment on the boxing scene, as I mentioned earlier, and it's great to see.
There's a left hook that stiffened Richard's legs there.
And we saw that left hook earlier in the round, didn't we, Luke? So obviously he's learned the lesson that that's his danger punch.
It's important for Ridge now to just stay composed and pick his shots nicely because the stoppage there. What an uppercut that was!
The crowd are getting behind him right now.
And this is brilliant from Richard, picking his shots nicely.
I mean, Richards is smiling, but it's on the verge of being stopped, so he needs to suck up a little bit. Maybe he's just putting that smile on his face to let the referee know he's not unduly troubled, but as Luke said, it was a solid shot that put him down. Then he took a solid follow-up shot as well. The round's about to come to an end, so it looks like he's going to see this one through.
Yeah, and the biggest sign is Richards isn't throwing anything back, so he clearly was hurt from that knockdown. And Richards done well just to pick his shots. So he's still on unsteady legs there as he goes back to his corner.
Ridge's coach, Damien Jones, applauded that shot. He was delighted with that.
So we've seen a couple of knockdowns already, Luke. You don't often see knockdowns on shows like this too often, but look, if that's half of the course, then we might be in for a good night tonight.
Yeah, and I think Kyle Lamotte obviously getting off the floor, that was a big step for him. And for Adam Ridge as well, he's not had anyone on the canvas yet, so it'd be interesting to see how he approaches this round. He doesn't want to fly out and just go mad. He's got to pick his shots nicely as we look back at that knockdown.
Yeah, he kind of cuffed both cupping there on the inside. The referee could have stepped in, but they've got to work their way out of these situations, fighters.
Corners, 10 seconds.
And as you can see, he looks okay where he's taking the count, but as Luke said, he looks a bit wobbly going back to the corner as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in this round.
Yeah, and Richards just said then as they went to touch gloves for the start of the fourth, he just said, "Oh, great shot, mate." And that says a lot if a journeyman is telling you that when he's still got 3 minutes to getting punched by you.
So Ridge just has to make it messy now, cuff him a couple of times, maybe get a few warnings off the referee. He's going to lose the fight anyway, and he's just took a lovely right uppercut to the pit of his stomach. So as Luke mentioned earlier, the uppercut, the left hook seems to be the punches of the night so far for Ridge. And Jay, knowing Ridge, you see someone who'll go back and watch this fight and work on stuff in the gym, or maybe be critical of himself and try and pick up on stuff.
Yeah, Ridge is obviously very critical of his performances. Look what he's done well. He's looks what he could do a little bit better on. And each fight I've noticed he's improved every time, and I expect him to improve next time he's back after the new season.
Yeah, we said it last time when he fought Christian. You could see the improvements he'd made. Obviously, he was in with the same guy, the same style, and you could see it was a much better performance, and he's carried that onto tonight.
Absolutely, he's growing in confidence every time he steps in the ring, and the future's looking bright for the 21-year-old.
And Richards looks like he's completely recovered from the previous round. He's taken a few meaty body shots in this one, but he's trying to protect his head, and the byproduct of that is that he leaves his body a bit more exposed. But at this point in the fight, you won't mind. Oh, there's another right uppercut just went in as we're talking.
He has picked his shots nicely, Ridge.
Yeah, just right up to the body issue there,
Yeah.
speaking there, Luke, that he picked out as well. And he's switching from body to head as well impressively this round. Probably the best he's done so far in the fight, even though he scored a knockdown in the last round. Again, the right uppercut goes in.
Yeah, and just like Kyle, he's hurt him again there, I think. Ridge with that left hook.
Again, he pings in a right uppercut, so he's definitely knows that's the shot to be looking for. A bit of a dirty one there, he held with one hand and hit with the other, but it was good enough for the Lennox Lewis against Michael Grant, so why not?
But that's what we talked about earlier, the tricks that you pick up as a professional, you know. The best pros do things like that, and Adam's obviously seen that, and he's implemented himself in there.
Yeah, as you say, it's a boxing match. You're not watching Mother Teresa fight the Virgin Mary. It's two guys, one of the wounds, trying to knock the other guy out. So the referees tend to sometimes apply common sense and let them both work it out. You just don't want it to become a foul-filled mess, as you sometimes see in some fights, when the referee loses control. But Mark Lyson's one of our best referees, and that's never really the case.
You know, when Shaquib Ali stopped Richards, it was from one shot, but I think this is the best performance I've seen against him every time I watch Richards. Ridge has been in control throughout, and he looks like he's got a lot of power in both hands.
Before the fight, Ridge is saying he feels in the best condition he's ever been in, and I think you can see that tonight.
Yeah, that's a well-fought win there, and obviously the knockdowns are benefits for him, so he might try and get the benefit of that knockdown in his next fight and try and work on a knockout at some point.
A massive credit to Liam Richards as well. He's one tough man. There's not many people that could have taken all those big shots in there. I don't think the result's in doubt anyway. I think Ridge will be walking home with another W under his belt.
Yeah, I've got it 40-35. I'd be surprised if Mark Lyson scored it any other way.
And we'll hand over to MC Michael Pass to announce the official result.
Ladies and gentlemen, contest number 3 has ended. Therefore, after 4 rounds of boxing action, Mark Lyson has scored the contest 40 points to 35 points for your winner. Now undefeated in 4 professional contests from Lee Adam Ridge. And always a game and hard man, Melksham's Liam Richards.
Yeah, brilliant performance from Adam Ridge.
So that little tap that Richards gave Mark Lyson there at the end of the fight was probably his best punch of the fight, and but it was a good performance from Ridge. And Jay, when you talk to Ridge next, what do you think he'll be telling you about that fight?
He'll be happy with his performance. I'm sure he would have liked to have got the stoppage, but I'm sure that'll come in the next few fights. Before the show, he was telling me he wants to put on a show, and I think he has done that tonight.